guys, glad you're here. I'm back. I did need that time off last week. I was, I think, just exhausted. I feel really good now, ready to do a live. I just completely ran out of time to come up with cards last week. This week, I've got a good class for you, and I'm looking forward to doing this tonight. Oh, hi, Becky. Glad you're here, and thanks for sharing my video. Hi, Jan. Can't wait to see what I create tonight. I hope you like them. Oh, hi, Jamie. Oh, thanks. I'm glad you love my classes. That means a lot. I love to hear that because I always wonder. It's always nice to hear that. And Ruth, oh, first time viewer. Thanks for coming, Ruth. Welcome. Glad you're here. Hi, Pat. You got him on tonight too. Thank you. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. And Sharon, hello. And Michelle. Well, I'm glad you guys are all here. I can see the numbers are going up. So we'll go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and I'll just explain the door prize real quick. Let me show this real quick. During the video, anytime throughout the video, you can do it right now. I'll remind everybody. I'll try to do it in the middle of the video. I'll definitely do it at the end of the video to comment. If you live in the United States and you want to be in my door prize drawing, make sure you comment hashtag door prize. You can see what that looks like there on the screen. You need to make sure I wrote that down right. Yep, I did. And I forgot to set that up again. I'll have to do that here in a minute. But do hashtag door prize, all one word, no spaces and no caps. It's all small letters, hashtag door prize. You have to do it exactly that way because there's a little program here through my live that generates the winner, and it only takes the comments that have the exact hashtag door prize. So make sure you do that. And if you're watching the replay, please still do the hashtag door prize. That way I know that you want to be in the door prize and that you're in the United States. I can't do the door prizes since it's product with people outside the U.S. So I'm just doing those of you in the U.S. But if you are outside the U.S., we'd love to hear where you're from. It's always fun to see where everybody is from, especially when you're far away. It's pretty cool. Everybody likes it. I've had other people comment. I like seeing it, but I know a lot of the other people like to see it too. Oh, I've got some new people on here. Let me say hi quick. Now, if I've missed your comments, I'll try my best to see them. Sometimes this thing starts scrolling, especially when everybody starts doing hashtag door prize. Then it starts going nuts on me. So if I miss it, I'm sorry. I do go back and read them all. So if you have a question, I will come back on Facebook. I'll just reply to your comment. On YouTube, the live chat, it's only right now you're commenting in live chat. That's the place you comment during a live. As soon as the live's over and somebody's watching the replay, they're commenting and those will show up at the bottom or beneath the video. I will answer your question there because live chat, I wish they gave me a little reply thing so I could reply back to you that way. But do come back in a day, probably the next day, and see if I've answered it. So I'll try to tag see if I can figure that out. They make it a little harder on YouTube to be able to reply back. Let's see, who am I missing here? I think Sharon, did I say? Yep, I did say hi to Sharon. Oh, Robin McBride, I'm glad you're here from North Carolina. Oh, your first time here too. I didn't think I'd remembered your name. I've got a few Robins that my best friend here in Martinsville is usually on, but I didn't notice your last name. So I've got like 2 or 3 Robins, well, 3 Robins now that you're on here. So I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Hi, Paula. Glad you're back. And Crystal. Let's see here. Yeah, I've seen some hashtag door prizes. Good. Looks like everybody is typing it in just right. Oh, now, Ruth, don't spell out hashtag. It's just that number sign is all you're going to do. So it's just the number sign door prize. So you'll want to do that one more time. You can see how everybody else is putting theirs in. Let's see here. Yep, looking pretty good here. Oh, hi, Jan from Oregon. Glad you're here. Hi, Karen. Glad you're back. And Patty. Glad you guys are here. Hi, Lori. Okay. Oh, Ruth, you did get it right. I saw you did it later. Good. Okay. Got a lot of people commenting tonight. Oh, hi, Karen. Glad you're here. Another Karen. Got Karen Kozlowski and Karen Ilsley, I think is how you say it. Let's see here. And Karen Kozlowski is from Oregon too. And Lori Dudley. Oh, I'm glad you're here for the first time too. So we've got at least 3 first timers. I'm really glad you guys are here. And Becky. Oh, and Becky's welcome all the first timers in case you didn't see that, because I'm on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So you're not going to see all of the comments. I'm seeing them all, but you're not going to see them all. Okay, well, I think we're going to get started. Let me show you the door prize from last week. I'm going to go ahead and take this off for now. And it's a little easier to show it to you down here. Here we go. There's always a glare if I try to show it to you the other way. There's still a little bit of a glare here. These are the iridescent rhinestone basic jewels. Everybody that commented hashtag door prize during the live and during the replay from 2 weeks ago, actually, we're put in the drawing. So I'm going to go ahead and go to that screen. And let's see who won from that. Got all those entered for everybody to watch live and the replay that comment hashtag door prize. And the winner is, oh, I think it's going to stop at Mary. Mary Schreiber. Congratulations, Mary. I'm going to write your name down real quick. Congratulations. Actually, I could just come back and watch. It's a little easier if I get it written down quick. Okay. All right. I am glad you won, Mary. Congratulations. I'm going to go here to me. There we go. So congratulations. I'm glad you won. Okay. And make sure I can't remember if you won or not. So just be on the safe side. I'm not sure if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, click the contact me link below in the video description and give me your mailing address that way. And if you're watching on Facebook, just message it to me there on the page. Now, when I refer to links, I'm going to go over this real quick before I do the door prices for this live. If you were on Facebook, look at the top of the page and click the Learn More button, and all the links are there. I think I need to ignore the celebration one that's on there. I just realized I thought I got all the celebration things off, and as soon as I start talking about that link, I don't think I got it off of there. So I'll do that tomorrow. But all the other links are good. So like to find out about how to get the free card kits, which I'm going to show you here in a minute, and all that good stuff. All those links are there. And those of you on YouTube, just look down in the video description and you'll find a bunch of links there too. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm going to switch the screen here. Oh, I missed some people here. I always like to say hi to everybody, at least at the beginning of the video. Oh, Crystal, thanks. She said you guys missed me last week. I missed you guys too. I needed that break, but I was still missing you guys. I have a lot of fun. I was exhausted. I'm glad I didn't try to get it done because those cards probably would have looked awful. Well, there's just no way I could have gotten 3 cards done last week. It got nuts on me, but I'm catching up. So I think we're going to be good now. Okay. Make sure I'm not missing anybody else. I think I'm pretty good. So let's go ahead. I'm going to switch the screen and show you the door prizes for tonight. Okay. You know what? I'm going to put that back up here for the people that are coming on just now. If you live in the United States and want to be in the drawing for the door prize, make sure you do hashtag door prize as a comment. Type it just like it's showing there on the screen. It's all one word, small letters with hashtag right before it. So it's hashtag door prize. Okay, these were in a class a couple weeks ago, and I still have a few left. These are the adhesive-backed cork rounds. Almost all of our things say adhesive-backed now. But these are really, really cool. They're all the same size. They really are made of cork. Pretty cool that you can use these on so many things. They worked really good with that tool set that I used a few weeks ago. These also, they actually are in the suite Nature's Prints, I think is what it's called, Nature something, in the January to April mini. And they look really good with that set too, of course, because that's what they made it for. But that's for everybody that's watching the live that does the hashtag door prize as a comment. And then everybody that is watching live and the replay, because I want to get the replay people in on a door prize too. But if you watch live, you get in 2 drawings. Now, you can only win 1 prize per video, per live, I mean. But this one was actually celebration at last couple months. Love these a lot. Oh, hi, Denise. Oh, Denise, you want to make sure when you do hashtag door prize, don't put a space in between door and prize. I know it's really weird. I'm still learning hashtags. I always put the space in there, but you want to type that in one more time without the space. And thanks for sharing the video. I really appreciate that. Okay. The one with the mushrooms. Oh yeah, that was the class last time, Crystal. That's right. Somebody must have asked that and I just missed it. Thanks for helping with the answering. And Kathy, yep, you got door prize right. Okay. But these are so neat. They're I'm thinking this is pecan pie. Oh, pool party and calypso coral. I think that those are the colors. But these would actually go really well with I just realized that these go perfectly with the suite I'm using right now. The A Little Latte. So these would look good with that too. Didn't plan that, I promise, but that would look cool. You could actually use those. So that's everybody that watches the live here tonight, and I will announce the winner at the end of the video. That's why I have you do that hashtag door prize, because that way you'll see it here at the end for the first timers. Those of you who've been here for a little while, you've seen it a couple times now. So we'll do the drawing at the end of the video for this. And this one, I will do the wheel like I did at the beginning of this just a few minutes ago for this one next week. Okay, now let's get going with the class. Here are the kits. Oh, let me get that door prize thing out so you can see a little better. There we go. Now I've got kits to make all 3 cards, 2 of each. Now you get these free if you place a $40 order before shipping and tax by next Wednesday, which is March 13th, just by the end of the day. And the host code is right there in that ticker. You'll see it come across all throughout the video. If you don't get it written down, don't worry. Like I said, there's a link to my card class at home down the video description on YouTube. And actually, when you hit that Learn More button on Facebook, if you're watching from Facebook, click the one that says current host code offer. I name it that since like last week, I ended up not doing a class, so I just gave away embellishments. So, but normally it's a card class at home. So the $40 order before shipping and tax with the host code gets this. And then if you bump it up to a $50 order, so just add $10 more to your order, and you'll get, yours will be a full pack of these. These are brand new. You can kind of see it better here. They're Adhesive-Backed Swirl Dots, and they look like, those fancy drinks. This looks like a white mocha with some swirls in it, but the colors are pecan pie, petal pink, and this is just white. Actually looks more cream. They say it's white, but to me it looks more like cream. But these are so cute. I love these, and I'm using these on all the cards here tonight. So $40 order gets you the kits for free. And I do the embossing for you. There was no die. I don't do the die cutting with the featured bundle. So this time I just had a little bit of embossing to do. And then if you bump up to $50 order with the host code, you get these for free, the whole pack. I've got those coming. They'll be here in a couple days. And then if your order is $150 or more before shipping and tax, take that host code off. You don't want to use that. You'll still get my card kits and the embellishments, but you'll also get Stampin' Rewards from Stampin' Up. I don't want you to miss that. But you do have to use the host code on orders under $150 before shipping and tax to get my goodies. Okay. Oh, hi, Jan. Oh, thanks. Jan's reminding all of you to give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that, Jan. Thanks a lot. It's fun to do the thumbs up, but it also helps me out a little bit too. So I appreciate that. Oh, hi, Virginia from Wisconsin. I'm glad you're here. Okay. Becky's a cute set. Okay, I think. Oh, and Patty Joe. Hi, Patty Joe from Delaware. She's been on before. I remember seeing her name. Hi, Melissa. I'm glad you're here. Okay, I'm sure I missed some people while I was talking. I wasn't looking. Oh, I see a Carol Bell. I'm glad you're here. Sorry if I missed your name. I love to say hi to everybody. We have somebody from Texas. Oh, Beth Watson. Glad you're here. Okay, I'm getting a lot of people. Oh, thanks, Lady Di. I appreciate that. Okay, let's grab the first kit. First, I always want to start making the cards, but then I forget. I want to show you the bundle too. This is the Latte Love Bundle. It looks like I kind of messed that one up already. These were the first. Actually, I take that back. I was going to say these are the first set of cards I made. I did make my husband's Valentine card with this set, but it's a really neat set. So many different things. Since I only do 3 card designs, I couldn't use all the dies, but I did just about use all of the stamps. I think the only stamps I didn't use is this one's on me. And, oh, this, no, was it? No, this one. Yeah, this is the only, I didn't use this one. I did use everything else. It's a really neat set. I'll get that a little closer so you can see it. And I do have the camera a little closer to where my workspace, so hopefully that'll show up a little better. Last time I had it a little too far away. It looked kind of small to me anyway. But I'm also looking at a small screen for on my end. Okay. Then, oh yes, you want to see the paper, don't you? I always like to, when I do something for the first time, I always like to show you the paper. You know what? I'm going to take that ticker off for just a second. That way you can see a little better. You can't, yeah, I'm close enough. You can't see the whole 12 by 12, but it is very, very close. But aren't these cute? And we are going to be, I'm using these on the first card. And these, let me show you this. This is, well, you're going to see me do it here in just a minute. But this die right here will die cut every single one of these out. So you do not have to fussy cut these out. I love it when they do that. And I love all the different colors. I love all the different shapes, little things they did with the cream. Really, this is such a cute set. But there's one side, and there's the other. Got a lot of like coffee. Oh, I can't think of the word. Rings. There we go. Little coffee rings. And with the pack, like all of our 12 by, well, most of our 12 by 12, you get 2 of each, and they are double sided. We've got this one. It's got a bunch of coffee beans on it. And once again, we've got a die. There we go, if I get it on right. And then we've even got dies for the single ones. And the neat thing, there are 2 dies that are exactly the same. So we get a set of 2 dies. So, because they know we might want more than just one set of coffee beans for our project. So I thought that was pretty cool. I love it when they give us more than one die on something that they know we're going to need multiples on, because that makes us, you can just run it through the die cutting machine one time. I love that. Oh, hi, Becky Schlossnagel. Glad you're here. Said your last name because I've got another Becky on here. Oh, hi, Lorraine. Glad you got to come. Okay. Oh, and then this side, this is a neat plaid. And I'm going to be using this on the second card. I'm using a lot of them on this one. I'm using this one on the last card. Now, this one, there are no dice for it, but you can, well, you might be able to do I bet that coffee bean looks the same. They're little coffee beans. Those you could do with that die. But these can easily be fussy cutted out. They're not that hard to cut out at all. And then there's this side. That's got a bunch of little coffee cups all over it. I like this one. This one's pretty cool. Got a lot of coffee splatters all over it. Hopefully you're seeing this real good. I've noticed when I do my recorded videos, you can see the designs a lot better. Sometimes with lives, it kind of gets kind of fuzzy and pixelated. So I'm hoping you're seeing it good here tonight. And then I like the stripes on this one too. Oh, Robin, do you love your lattes? Yes. My favorite is pumpkin spice latte. Of course, that's only during the fall months, but we've got this one. I like caramels lattes too. Let me do this one better this way because they look like little hearts. I like that a lot. And then, and this one, very cool. It's like a blonde maybe type coffee. And this one, dark colors for swirls in your coffee. And then last but not least, a bunch of little coffee beans. And these are too small for the die, but they make a nice background. So that is the paper. So the suite, which is called A Little Latte Suite, is the paper, these embellishments, and the bundle. And let me take this out of one of my packets. This really neat ribbon. Isn't that neat? It's burlap feel. They don't call it burlap. That's kind of what it feels like. It's a little stiff, but it's called a Natural Polka Dot Trim. And the polka dots are only just on one side. So if you didn't want the polka dots, you could just use this side. Like that. I like this a lot. And I'm actually having that trim on all 3 cards. Okay, so that is the new suite. And in case you were wondering, this just came out on Tuesday. As a demonstrator, I was able to get it last month, but this is just for you guys. It just became available on Tuesday, and it's in the online exclusive. So make sure you check that out. I've got a link down in the video description for the online exclusives. If you're on Facebook, you can just click on the Learn More and then go to my Stampin' Up store, and you can look up the online exclusives page on there, and you'll see everything. It'll show all the online exclusives plus the new ones. And the new ones will also say new, so that way you know which are the brand new ones. Because there are quite a few, and there's some really neat ones. Okay. Yeah, Michelle, isn't that ribbon neat? I really like it too. Okay. Yeah, the coffee splatter crystal, I like that too. I'm using that on the last card. I had it just like, oh, I got to use that paper. Okay. Yeah, it is a great sweet Marva. I really like it a lot. Okay, we are going to get going with the fun. Here comes the first card. I love this pecan pie. This came out last May, this color. It's in the neutrals. Glad it's not an in color because this one's going to stick around for a while, but I really like this one a lot. So this is just a regular card base, 5.5 by 8.5. I'm going to fold it in half. Now, my tip for folding things in half is just line up the corners of the cardstock. Don't worry about looking at anything else, just those corners. I always use a bone folder to get a sharp fold in there. So there's my card base. There's only a little bit of stamping I need to do. I need to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat, because this is a photopolymer stamp set, so you do need that cushioning underneath for it to stamp really well. And I'm going to grab this little bitty piece of basic white here. This one is a 2.5 by 1/2 inch piece. And I'm going to stamp thanks so much. And I'm going to stamp it pretty close to the center. It doesn't have to be perfect, because we're going to be cutting off an end a little bit. Actually, a little more to the left. So I forgot I did change up what I was going to originally do on my card. So I'm going to make it more to the left, like so. So put that to the side. Done with the Calypso Coral. I don't think I use a Calypso Coral anymore tonight, so I can definitely close that up. And I'm only stamping one more thing on the inside. The other two cards have more stamping. This one, since I'm using the cups in the paper, I didn't have to do a lot of stamping. Okay, now I'm going to grab this one here because I want to stamp one of these inside my card. I'm going to use my Early Espresso ink pad. Oops. Get this inked up. I kind of liked it angled a little bit like this with the handle over here, but you can do it whichever way you want to. Okay. Then I wanted to do the heart-shaped cream like for the coffee. I'm going to close this up because I don't need that until the next card. I'm going to use pecan pie again. And this will get stamped right here in the middle. Down for a few seconds. Now I've got my fancy coffee inside my cup. Now I could just leave it like that, but I want to color it in. A lot of times I don't color the inside of my cards in, but I wanted to on this one. So I'm going to grab my Lost Lagoon blends. I'm going to start with the dark one. This little inner circle right here around the coffee is the inside of the mug. So I want that to be dark. I'm going to use my dark Lost Lagoon and go all the way around it. It's okay if you get on the coffee a little bit. Once it dries, it kind of disappears. So no worries there. Get this all the way around. I didn't color anything ahead of time, so you're going to see how long it takes. And it doesn't take that long. Usually I only color ahead of time if it's going to take too long. And then I'm going to there's got little lines right here. This is like the under part of the handle. So I'm going to make that a little darker. A couple of spots here. And then I'm going to take my light Lost Lagoon and color the rest of it in. And I think I'm just going to do one layer on the whole thing. Every once in a while with the shades of the blends, you have to kind of go over it a few times to get it blended. And sometimes the shades are so close together, you don't have to do much blending. And I think that's the case here with the Lost Lagoon one. But the nice thing with our blends, if you put the light on and you take away some of the dark, just go back and add some more dark. You just keep adding until it looks good to you. And I can tell right now that my dark needs to be a little bit darker, especially right through here. So I think I'm going to go right around this again. And one thing it does, they all start to lighten up after they dry. So I bet you if I'd waited just a little bit longer, because I can tell the light Lost Lagoon is lightening up on me. But there, that kind of gives it more of a 3D look. Put that a little closer to you. So it kind of gives a 3D look. So there is the inside of the card. I'll pop this up so I can see a little better your comments. Let's see. I like the ink pads too. Our ink pads are the best. What is the pad called? And does SU sell it? Oh, are you talking about this pad right here? If you're talking about this, they do. This is called Stampin' Pierce Mat. I can't remember if it's in a catalog. I know they did take it out of the catalog for a little while. It does seem like it's in the annual catalog. If not, just go to the online store and type in Stampin' Pierce Mat, Pierce, and you'll find it. So that's what Stampin' Up does sell this. Okay. Yeah, and the markers are Stampin' Blends. I saw Crystal bringing that up. We've got, it's not every single color, but most of our colors have blends. And I can't, it's funny, I remember the old price. I can't remember what the price is now, but they come in a set of two. You get the light and the dark in each set. I want to say $11. I know it's no more than $11. So there we go, which is a pretty good deal because I know Copic or Copic, I never know how to say that, are a lot more. Now, one thing with ours, you cannot replace the tip. That's why when I use my tip, you can see how mine still looks really sharp. Hopefully you can see that. Here, I bet if I put the white up there a little better. There we go. I use a very light touch when I color. If you go too hard, this does start to fray. If you don't, it stays intact and lasts you quite a while. So there we go. Now, when I had classes, I used to have classes here at the house, my house, they wouldn't last as long. Now that I'm the only one that uses them, they last a really long time since they get to be covered. And always make sure you put that lid on really tight because they are alcohol. It is alcohol ink, so it will dry out quickly if they're not put on. So I just always kind of push them a little bit, make sure they're closed. But mine have been lasting for a long time since I've become the only one using them. And even when I had classes and had a lot of people using them, they still lasted me for quite a while. I was impressed. Okay, now this piece, I'm going to be stamping some coffee beans. So, oh, there it is. Start throwing this mat somewhere else. Oh, they're 10, Crystal. Thank you. I couldn't remember it's 10 or 11. Okay. Oh, thanks, Candy. I'm glad you like the cards. Let's see here. Oh, you're not too late, though. I'm just now starting the first card, so you're good. The only thing you missed was the door prize part, and I'll show you that at the end of the video, too. Okay. I forget. I didn't tell you the size on this one, did I? It's a 2-inch by 1-inch. I keep trying to get this to angle. I'm trying to see your comments better, and it's not. There we go. I think I see that better. I've got a nice little glare, so it's hard for me to see. Oh, do they, Patty? Patty just told me. I'd never heard this. Copic Classic Brush Tips on Amazon will replace our brush tip. I did not know that. So if you want to try that, go right ahead. I didn't know that. That's nice to know. Oh, and Becky, thanks. She put up how much the Stampin' Pierce mat is. It's on page 151 in the annual catalog for $5. Yep, I knew it didn't cost much. I couldn't remember the exact price. Thanks, guys. I'm glad you guys are helping me out. Let's see. Do you have to go to the website to order a catalog? Okay, Beth, if you order from me, I'm glad you asked that question. Since you haven't ordered from me before, I gladly, if you live in the United States and you don't have a demo of your own, I will gladly send out a set of catalogs to you. And then after that, if you ever place at least a $40 order with me during a quarter, then you will get the next mini catalog. The annual catalog, since it's a bigger catalog, I ask that you place at least a $50 order before shipping and tax. So right now, the annual catalog is getting ready to start in May. This month is when we get to submit addresses to Stampin' Up to mail some out for us. So if you want to get on the first set of catalogs that I'm sending out for the new annual catalog, everybody that placed an order from January, actually I think it's December 31st to March 30th, you will get a free catalog from me. I'll just automatically mail it to you. So that's how I do mine. But yeah, Beth, if you want to get now, right now the catalogs are only good for another couple months, but they're still good ones. I keep all of mine for the ideas in them too. So just contact me. Let's see, you're watching on Facebook, so just message me your address and I'll get it mailed out to you. Okay, so I'm going to grab early espresso, and I've got some coffee beans right here. I'm going to do the set of 4, I think that is, and then a single one. I'm actually going to do just one of the set and then 2 of the single. And then I'm going to take pecan pie. Put this over to the side here. And their little centers here, I'm going to take my dark, make sure because these lids are really close together. Sometimes you have to look at the side to see, make sure you've got the right shade. These little spots I'm seeing in the middle of the coffee beans, I'm going to do those with a dark pecan pie. Now I'll make sure they're good and dark, so I'm going to go over them one more time. Sometimes you need, like I said, you need to put a couple layers of a color in. Not always, just sometimes. I'm going to take my light pecan pie and color the rest of them in. Going over the dark a little bit just to blend it in. I don't want to be too much of a difference in the shades. But I'm not doing a lot of blending either. But that is how you blend. I always start, you can start with the light if you want to. I always start with the dark, and then I color over the dark and the empty areas with my light, and it blends together. So there's all the coffee beans ready to go. So that'll be die cut here in a minute. And I do believe that is everything I need to stamp on this card, that is. I'm going to bring in, got to move some stuff around because this die cutting machine takes up the whole screen. Just about the whole screen, that is. Okay. So when you want, I'm just going to tell you the sandwich real quick. If you don't have our machine, you put for die cutting, it's the big platform at the bottom, then the die plate number 2 and a standard cutting plate number 3. And, oh yeah, Beth, when you do the hashtag door prize, make sure you don't put a space between door and prize. If it's me looking at it, I wouldn't be so picky, but since I have a program picking the winner, you'll want to make sure you type it in just right. Thanks, Crystal. Crystal's helping everybody out. She makes sure everybody gets that right. Thanks, Crystal. I appreciate that a lot. Okay. Now I'm going to bring in that. I keep moving things around. There we go. I need my little cups. Now, if you get my card kits, I'm going to try my best to make sure you get 2 different colors. I'll show you my original card, but there were a lot more of the Calypso Coral / Petal Pink mugs. So I thought, well, for the one for the video, that way I'm trying my best to make it sure that you guys get 2 colors. I'm going to use 2 of the same. It's still going to look good with just with the 2 colors the same. I made sure the designs on the inside were different though. So I'm going to grab my dies. Okay, I need this one here. And you just fill it in, fill the image in, that is, inside the die. Now I always put Post-it tape on here. You can find this on Amazon. You can also use, if you have Post-it notes laying around, just take the adhesive part and put it down, and that'll hold it down for you too. Then I need my coffee bean die here. Die. Now I do have 2 of these dies, but I'm not sure. I might have them too close together. I meant to stamp them a different way. You know what? I think I might make it. Let's put this one here. It's always so hard. I try to make it so you guys can see how I'm lining it up and I can see it. And that's not the easiest thing to do because I know my hand keeps getting in the way. Oh, good. I can do them all at the same time. Okay, I'm going to get my hand out of the way here in just a minute because I know you can't see a thing. There we go. So there it is there, and I'll put the tape on there. And when I put the tape on, I'm also pushing tape inside that open center in the dies. If I don't do that, they're going to move. I learned that the hard way. Then you put another standard cutting plate on top. We run it through. Bring it back over. Got a little static cling here tonight. Okay, here's one coffee bean. Isn't that cute? Okay, and then we've got this one. Trying to do this fast, and if you try to do it fast, that's when you mess up. There we go. Boy, that cut, I got both of those cut out really good. Our dies, I love our dies. They're every once in a while I still get off a little bit, but they line up really well. I'm happy with them. There we go. And then I need, as I'm talking to you, I'm putting my dies back so I don't lose them. I do have to run this through one more time because they did only give us one of these dies. But there we've got that. And oops, wrong dish. I've got a couple dishes here where I keep everything. Put this one on here. That looks pretty good. Actually, the layout of this one is a lot like the card I made for my husband for Valentine's Day. It just doesn't have the hearts all over it. Run this through. I should have brought that one over here so you could see what it looked like. But he likes Starbucks coffee a lot, so that's why I thought this would be a good set for his Valentine card. Oh, hi, Rita. I don't know if I said hi to you. And okay, Marva, I know I said hi to you. I know I didn't say hi to you, Rita. I just saw you say hi. Oh, hi, Christy. You sure did make it. Oh, your daughter came over to celebrate her 29th birthday. Isn't that crazy to have kids that old? My oldest is, I have to think here, 30, going to be 34. My goodness. I'm getting old. Then we've got this here. Okay, am I thinking right? No, I'm not thinking right. She's going to be 33. I knew that didn't sound right. If she's watching, she's like, Mom, I'm not 34 yet. Okay, now, I think that is everything. I need to die cut, so I'm going to put this over to the side. Get this over here. And, oh, there they are. I always have to move so much to get the die cutting machine over here. I forget where I lay things down. So there's the card base. This is a piece of Lost Lagoon, and I used the exposed brick. I'll show you what that one looks like if I can get a hold of it. Well, things are not cooperating. This is the size of the folder. It's an embossing folder. It is a 3D, so it's extra thick. But mine is already embossed because the ones in the kit are embossed. But this is 4 by 5 1/4. And then I've got a piece of the A Little Latte DSP. This is a 3 by 4 inch. And then I just wanted a narrow border of the pecan pie on the outside. So this is a 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. I'm going to turn this over. You can use whichever side. You could use this side even too, but I really liked this one a lot. Grab my adhesive. Get it in the corner very well. There we go. This will go right here in the center. There we go. And as I said that, Christy said yours just turned 29. My youngest, my son, will be 29 in September. My other one will be 31. Oh, always have to remember they're all either odd or even every year. And when they start having their birthdays, they'll have the odd years. That'll make it easier for me to remember how old they are. Okay, so I'm going to put this right here on the top of, well, not top, but top corner. I'm going to make the border of the Lost Lagoon be about the same on the right and on the top. That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to get a couple pieces of tear and tape. Oh, I agree, Michelle. I love using my embossing folders. They do add a lot to cards. Okay. Oh, Christy, I see that you put down old. I know, Pat. Can you believe it? Pat just says hers are 41 and 39. We're just not that old, are we? We can't have kids that, it's crazy. Okay, this is a 6-inch piece of that Natural Polka Dot Trim. And it is kind of stiff, but it will wrap around this. You bring this down, and I think the tear and tape holds it down really well. But one thing, because it is a little thicker than our regular ribbon, really push that down. So the adhesive takes hold. Make sure that's straight. Hold it snug, not super tight, of course, but snug. You don't want it too tight to where it's curling your cardstock, but you want it to be able to lay flat when you put it on your card base. Okay, now that the ribbon's wrapped around there, and Crystal, yours are 24 and 23. Yeah, when they get past the teenage years, it's like, I couldn't believe it when they turned teenagers for that matter. Okay, now I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool. When I take off the adhesive, I always like to use the paper piercer part of my Take Your Pick tool, and I always start in between the ribbon and the end of it. If I do it too close to the ribbon, I definitely pick up the adhesive, and I seem to do that the same if I do it at the end of it. So I'm just kind of jiggling a little bit, trying to get that off, and if I start to get the adhesive, then I just start pushing it back down again, and you know what? I think I might have to. Oh, nope, there we go. I was getting it. And do the same thing with this one. Let's see here. I think I'm getting adhesive. I am getting adhesive on that one. So just push it down again. And then I'm going to go try it on the other side. Just kind of pick at it. There we go. And I'm making sure my fold is on the left. Put this right here. Okay. Now we're going to start putting our coffees on here. Let's see, which one do I like? Or do I like it better this way? You know what? I think I'm going to cover up this one a little bit because there's so much white on this one. So I'm going to put this one on with just regular adhesive. I think that's how I did it. Let me feel. Oh, you know what? I didn't. That's right. I was afraid. You know what? Let's just see if this works. Nope, that does just fine. It kind of pops up a little bit over here, but down here is staying fine. With this ribbon, with it being a little thick, I'm sorry, I'm getting out of the screen. It's a little bit thick, so I was worried it wasn't going to stay down. You know what? It is popping off. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure. Okay, I want it to be like this. So this is more my top right here. It's all sticky, so now I'm making it move. I'm going to grab dimensionals. I'm going to make sure I put a couple here on top. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to worry with the bottom. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about the bottom. Just make sure that these two are on there. I want to take the paper backings off. And I'm going to put this one about right here. There we go. And this is still raised up just fine. I'm not going to worry about a dimension. That's holding it on really good. And this one is just going to go on here like so. I think I'm going to angle it more like, well, no, I kind of like it better this way. When I did my original, I kind of had it angled like that, but that heart, I don't like the heart that way. So it just depends on what the image looks like. And I like, that looks pretty good. So I'm going to grab some dimensionals here. I don't need to put any over here because it's going to be on this one. It's already raised up. So I'm going to keep my thumb there. I put one here. Put one here. I think I'm going to put a little adhesive right here. Since this one's going to be on top, I want to make sure it's attached good. Take my paper backings off of there. Sticking to my finger good. Okay, so we got that on there. And then I'm going to grab my greeting. And I wanted to cut off the one side. You can do it as a banner or just do a little angled cut, and that's what I'm going to do. And then with this one, it's going to go on top of the mugs just a little bit, but this is going to be the part that is going to be, that needs dimensionals. I'm going to turn it over so I know the end with the angled part is my going to need the dimensionals. And I'm going to put them a little bit more towards the top. Just have a little cardstock showing here because this little part right here is going to be on the ribbon just a little bit. So I'm making sure a flat side of the dimensional is right here along the top. And I'll go ahead and put a little adhesive here on the end. Take these off. And we'll just put it on right about there. I'm going to lay it down before I push it down. I think we're going to move it over just a little bit more. That's not too bad. Now, last but not least, we've got our little, I'm going to bring my little dish over so I don't lose them, the little coffee beans. Couldn't think of the name there for a second. And I'm going to have this one kind of angled a little bit. I'm going to put a little half dimensional over here. I use every bit of my dimensionals, so I'm going to cut off one of these little half ones on the border. Put it on one end. I guess I'm not going to worry about putting adhesive on this little spot. It's going to stay on just fine. And I kind of liked it like this. It's going to, the part without the dimensional is going to be on the mug. And then dimensional is going to be on this part that's down a little farther. And we need to, now the little ones are so little, I'm just going to use glue dots. But they're still the right size. They cover up the glue dot just fine. You don't have to worry about squishing to make the glue dot smaller. And I kind of liked this one up here. I'm going to lay this down really lightly because the glue dots really stick good. That looks good. I'm going to go ahead and push that down all the way. Grab my last coffee bean. And you can definitely add more coffee beans if you wanted to. And I'm going to put one about right down here. Okay, so we've got that done. I'm going to go ahead and put the inside of the card on quick. Oh, hi, Mimi. I'm glad you're here again. Oh, Crystal, you're going to be married 27 years in October. Congratulations. I'll be married 35 years in May. That's another thing that's gone fast. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes I feel like there's no way it could be 35 years already. And then there are times it's like, I feel like we've been married forever. It's hard because I've been married to him longer than I was single. So it's crazy. Okay, I'm going to put this right there. Oops. Now we've got the card. Oh, wait a minute. I almost forgot the dots. I went back and forth. Any of these would look good, actually, but I'm going to use the lighter ones, the white ones on this card, because I always like to, if there are 3 colors, I try to use every single color on a card. So this one, we're going to use the white ones. They are just one size. Oops. So I'm going to grab this one and put it about right here. Grab another one. Oops. Oh, there it is. It kind of went down on me. And I'm going to put it, I squeezed too much putty out, so it's not wanting to cooperate. Get one more, so I'm going to squish it down. That should help a little bit. And then I'll put one right here. And of course, you can add more if you want to. But there is the first card, and there's the inside. So I hope you like that one. Oh, thanks, Robin. I'm glad you like it. Okay. Thanks, Becky. And Ken. Oh, hi, from Northern Indiana. You're a Hoosier like me. I'm glad you're here. Okay. Now I'm going to put this to the side. Now, those of you who just came on, don't worry. This was the first card. You can watch the replay and be able to learn how to make this one. That's the nice thing with lives. The replays are there forever. You don't have to worry about missing if you can't come right when it starts. Okay, so here is card number 2. Let's see here. Get that closed up. I always go ahead and just fold the card base so it's ready when I'm needing it. So this is a regular 5.5 by 8.5 piece of Calypso coral. And if I forget to say, it is always inches. For those of you out of the United States that use the metric, I am doing everything in inches. So we always have to be different, don't we? I think the US is the only one that does the imperial. Okay, so I'm going to grab a piece of petal pink. That was a little wet. Let me get that. I had to take off some adhesive because I'm afraid it was going to ruin my card. Okay, this is a piece of petal pink that is 4 by 5.25 inches. And I've got a piece of the A Little Latte. This is a 4 by 2 inch piece. Go ahead and attach this across the bottom of my card piece. And then I'm going to grab another 6-inch piece of that Natural Polka Dot Trim. Get my trusty tearing tape. Oh, thanks, Myra. I'm glad you liked the last card. Christy, thanks. Oh, Michelle, I don't drink coffee either. It has to have a lot of flavoring to it. There are only a few Starbucks drinks that I will drink. If it has too much of a coffee taste, ugh, I don't mind the smell of it. Boy, my husband loves coffee, but yeah, I'm with you, especially plain coffee. There's one time I bought K-Cups, Starbucks K-Cups is a pumpkin coffee, but it was more coffee than pumpkin. I couldn't take it. Okay, I put this around here. Now, their pumpkin spice latte, I love that. There's a little coffee in it, but the other flavors hide the bitter taste to it, so I like that a lot. Okay. So then I'm going to go, let's see, I've got all that on. I've wrapped the ribbon around. So now I'm going to go ahead. Oh, chai tea's good too. That is good. I haven't had that for a while, but I do like that too. That is good. Okay. Let's see, put a little bit of adhesive here. See if we can get, I bet I can get this paper backing off a little easier because I didn't emboss. Yep. Sometimes when you have an embossed piece of cardstock, sometimes the backing is a little bit harder to get off because you kind of get inside of the groove in the embossing. There we go. Yeah, when it's flat, it comes off a lot easier. I'm going to go ahead and put this on the card base. Actually, I did have a couple more things I needed to stamp, but that's okay. Usually I like to stamp before I put it on the card base, but this is going to work out just fine. I'm going to go ahead and grab, while I'm thinking of it, grab my pierce mat. I'm going to open this up. So I do think it's a little better to have as little card layers underneath it as possible when you stamp. I'm going to grab my early espresso again. No, actually, I'm going to grab the little coffee ring stamp and my petal pink. Oh, Marva, you don't drink coffee either. I'm glad I'm not I'm finding some new people that don't like coffee too. Okay, so I'm going to take the, oh, you know what? I need a scrap piece of paper. I just wanted these rings to be light. I'm going to grab one of my old ones here. I'm going to take a little bit of the pink off and put it up here in the corner. Oop, you know what? That was too much. I didn't do that. That's right. My original card, I was going to do that, but then it was too light. So we're just going to do this. We are not going to stamp off. So sometimes I remember my original thought of what I thought I was going to do and forget I changed it. Okay, so now we just got a few little rings. And what that's going to be, it's going to be like a little background. I almost was going to put rings all over this piece, not that close together if I was going to do all over. I did this just to see what shading I wanted and ended up liking this better. So I'd like to just put a couple of, three of them in the corner. Then I'm going to grab the hello there. Sometimes it's fun to experiment before you start putting the card together because you end up finding out things you didn't think you were going to do. And that's another thing I figured out. When I originally made the card, I stamped the hello there first. I think it was just still a little bit too wet because then when I went to put the pecan pie on, the petal pink of this on, I stamped it. And then I went to stamp it again, and there was a little bit of early espresso that came off of the words. So I think it's a little easier. I definitely kept them all pink. So I just wanted a faint ring. I didn't want a real dark one. I'm going to put it up here. About so. There we go. My early espresso is getting a little dried out. So there we go. It just has a nice little background to the greeting. Yeah, I definitely need to put some ink on there. I must not have closed that very good because it stamped perfectly yesterday. Okay, so now I am ready to do, you know what? Let's get the stamping done. So that's all stamping on that, right there on that piece. This is a 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 inch piece of basic white. I'm going to grab this big single mug. Oh, hi, Kate. I love Calypso Coral too. It's a pretty color. At one time, I didn't use it that much, and I use it all the time now. I really like it. And it looks so good with petal pink. Oh, thanks, Karen. I'm glad you like it. I don't think I thanked you yet. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this right there. It doesn't have to be close to the middle, just somewhere in the middle. That way you can, because we're going to die cut this here in a minute. Then I want to grab the inside of my card. This is a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece. And this time I decided not to color in the mug because I'm going to stamp the mug. So what I'm going to do, this is just for time. If you want to color, I think it probably would look better colored in. But this still works. So I wanted you to see what it looked like if you don't color it in. So I'm going to bring in my Lost Lagoon, which I covered. There we go. I moved my tablet closer to me, and that made it so I couldn't see my Lost Lagoon. I had to clean that off since it had early espresso ink on it. And I'm going to stamp this here. And I almost forgot. We need to stamp, or I need to stamp the inside. So there is even a stamp. Where did I put it? Oh, there we go. It's a little bit of a thin oval. This makes it so you can stamp coffee into these mugs. Now, my original, I used early espresso, and I just think it looks a little too dark. So I'm going to use pecan pie this time. And you just stamp it right here in the end. Oh, ink that up a little better. There we go. And one right here. Yeah, I think I like the pecan pie better on this one. Okay, so, but if you really like dark coffee, then use the early espresso, because that definitely makes it dark coffee. Okay. Karen, you like sugar-free iced vanilla latte with extra shot. Ooh, that sounds good. I always get an extra shot of caramel when I do my caramel one. That just makes it taste that much better. Okay, before I lose this, I'm going to put this on the inside of the card. Okay. Because I am the cover-up queen. I love to cover things up and not find it again. So there's the inside. I'm going to color this in. I wanted to do a Lost Lagoon mug. So I'm going to take my dark again. Like I said, I always start with the dark. You can always do it the other way around. Doesn't really matter. It's just your preference. They've got little lines in the image. So I'm going to, where I see lines, I'm going to do color those with the dark Lost Lagoon. As you can see, I'm not doing it straight. I'm kind of jiggling it up and down because real things don't have, well, they do have straight lines, I guess. But I just think it looks better not having straight lines. Like with this, it probably would be okay if you did a straight line. But this is more shading than a design. So that's why I'm kind of scribbling it a little bit. And I'm still using that light touch so I don't mess up my tip. There's some lines there. There's here. And I'm going to put a little bit right here. This is like the inside of the cup right here. So I'm going to kind of make it a little darker. Just that thin layer. Okay, and this is like the underside of the handle. So I'm going to do it with the dark. And now I'm going to go over the whole thing with the light. And I use more brush strokes. I don't scribble. When I come back up again, I lift it up. So like when I come to the bottom, I lift it up and go back up. So just use it like a paintbrush is how I do it. And then when you go back, you can add more of the light and color over the dark a little more to blend it in a little better. Because I can tell right now some of my dark is a little too dark. Right now I'm just going to color the whole thing in. Color in my handle. I like to watercolor with our ink refills and stuff too, but I still like the blends the best because I feel like I have more control because I can always go back and add more dark or add more light until I like the way it looks. And it doesn't leave lines like our Stampin' Right markers do. Okay, so if you look at this, that dark is still just a little bit too dark. So I'm actually just going to color over the dark because I'm going to leave some of that light I have here in the middle, kind of like highlights. Because if you put more of the light Lost Lagoon on there, it does darken it up when you put the more layers you put on it. So some places I'm putting more, some places I'm kind of leaving little lights, and it does look better as it dries. Believe me, when I first did it, I thought, oh, I don't know if I like that. And then once it dried, I really liked it. Okay, so that kind of gave me some highlights. And that is still too dark. I might have put too much darker. I'm going to let that dry for a little bit. I might go back and fix that a little bit. But there is the card cap, the mug, I mean. I know, like I said with mine, after it dried, it looks so much better. So I think that's what's going to happen with this one. And I do believe, yep, now I just need to get the die cutting machine out. Oh, look at this thing over here. Because I can't get the whole thing in. I want to get this end in so you can see what I'm doing. So I've got the same sandwich. I've got the mug. This is a piece of early espresso. It is a 3.5 inch by 2 inch piece. And then I've got a little piece of Calypso coral cardstock. This is 1 1/4 by 1. I've got a lot of pieces here. This is vellum cardstock. This is 2 3/4 by 1 1/2. I think I'm actually going to put that there. Try to make it so you can see everything. And last but not least, I've got a little piece of the a little latte DSP. This one is a 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 inch piece. Now I'm going to go grab a bunch of dies. I don't think you're going to be able to see them much, but I'll show them to you before I put them on. Here's the mug. And it does cut out the center of that handle, that white space in the handle, which I love. Make sure it fills in that opening. I almost put tape on and could tell one side still had some white showing. So just make sure you fill in that opening when you do this. And then that's the only thing I need to use tape on because everything else are just pieces. I'm going to grab, okay, where's covering it up? Oh, there is this little bitty, oh, you know what? I need to put this one down first. This one is going to do my pot. So I'm going to put this one right here. This goes on the early espresso piece. Then there is this double, it's like a little double oval. This actually puts a little oval of coffee in the little mug I'm going to be making here. So I'm just going to put that here because we don't need that center section. That's just going to be an opening. So I'm just going to put that there. That's cardstock I can use. Then, if I can get a hold of it, there's one that looks like this. This one is going to be the inside of my coffee pot. I'm going to put that there. This one here does kind of like the pot that goes inside this holder, I guess is what you call it. So I'm going to put that on my vellum, if my vellum will cooperate. And then this, last but not least, there are actually 2 mugs in this. And they go different directions. Now these I've got so the blades are facing down. So I want the handle that's on the left. So that one is going to go right here. Since this one's on the right, I wanted one on the left for the card. Grab my, got it covered up. Standard cutting plate, another one. And so I don't move any of these dies that aren't taped down. I always put an end down, have it go right up against that bottom cutting plate, and then slowly bring this down. And then I hold my hand on here until they start to go through here. And then once all the dies have gone through here or under it partly, I know it's not going to move on me again. So I don't have to hold it down. Let's see. Oh, do you miss the watercolor crayons? I did used to use those a lot, Christy. I miss those too. Oh, thanks, Kate. She said I'm doing great with my blends. Thank you. Sometimes I'm not so sure. I see some people are so good. But I appreciate that. Thanks. Okay, so now I love the dies. This is another set. There are just so many things you can do. I need to move some things around here. Things are not lining up the way I had them, but I'll fix them later. So now we have this one. And then this piece of vellum, that's just going to go right in there to make our little pot. Now this thing cuts 2 out. I'm only going to need 1. So I'll just grab one of those. Then we've got our cute little teacup. This is the coffee that goes inside. I'll show you how it goes together here in a minute. But I like the swirls in that one. I could have just used early espresso or pecan cardstock too. Pecan pie cardstock. But I like the swirls in that, so I thought I'd try it. I've noticed it probably would show up a whole lot better if I wasn't using the vellum. I could have used a window sheet. That would have worked too. And then this one. So it is starting to lighten up. It's looking pretty good. Okay. Get all of these little pieces off of here. My cutting plate's getting a lot of cuts in it, so sometimes it's hard to get those little pieces off and stick to it. Okay. But I try to use every bit of my cutting plates before I replace them. Okay, now I think I am ready to put this together. Move this over here so I don't lose dies. I'm going to grab my silicone mat. And this is also something that Stampin' Up! Sells. Silicone craft sheet. That might be what it's called. I always call it a mat, but I think it's called a craft sheet. Whenever I want to use glue on little pieces, I use this, or if I'm afraid I'm going to get adhesive on my workspace, I use this. Glue, once it's wet, it'll go on here. Don't worry about it. Once it dries, you just rub it off and throw it away. Our seal rubs right off also. I love this mat a lot. So what I'm going to do, you can tell by looking at it which is the right way, but the handle part is on the left if you have trouble telling when you die cut it. But this side actually looks a little rougher, so that's how I know. Now, I'm not going to put any glue here on the handle. I'm just going to put some glue on these pieces here. Well, you'll see as I start doing it. I'm going to put a little bit here. That is if I can get it going. There we go. I'm always afraid to squeeze it too hard, and it just comes out everywhere. I'm going to put a little bit here on these sections. I'm not going to put any down here on the feet of the holder. And as you can see, I'm not going past these vertical lines either. So that's as far as I'm going. If you ever, this is another thing I like about the silicone mat. I'm going to add a little more glue here. I've got a little bit of a glob right there. I'm going to go up here in this top corner and take a little bit of that glue off. And then I'll just peel that off later when it dries. I think I'm going to still leave it like this. You want the little spout. When it's upside down, you want the spout on the left. When we turn it over, it'll be on the right. But here, I'm going to put it down here. It does go past the, I want to make sure the spout is just showing here. That's kind of how you know. And you kind of get it centered. I'm going to turn this over now. Looks like I need to move over to the right just a little bit. You can see that's a little narrower than over here. That's the other nice thing with the glue. Plus, these kind of curve around. Make sure it's just right there where that curve is at, that right side. And the handle right here goes right up against the edge. Once you put it together, you can see how it goes. Now I've liked where it's at, so I'm just going to push it down. But that's another reason. Even these are small, plus the glue makes it so you can move it around a little bit. And I think I am going to put just a teeny bit of glue right here, and that'll hold that down. There we go. So I've got that all ready to go. And now I've got this little coffee thing. There is a little slit up here. That kind of tells you where the top of the coffee is. And I'm going to put it right in here. So that I think probably what I should have done, because you can barely see that, it probably would have been better if you just used like early espresso, because the early espresso part shows a little better. But I still think it looks cool. And if you use the window sheet, you definitely could see. But since this is vellum, I don't want to see glue on the other side. So this early espresso part of the cardstock right here, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right there. It's on the vellum, but behind that early espresso strip. And take a little bit off. Oops, I kind of did that, mess that up a little bit, but it'll be all right. And then I'm going to put this right here. So that is going to be the only part that holds this onto the vellum, but don't worry, we're going to be putting this on the cards. So I'll be putting some glue on the back of this. That just holds that on enough that it'll be in place when I go to put it on my card. It does show up better than what it's showing up in the video, but it is pretty faint because of the vellum. The window sheet would definitely show it up a lot better. Okay. Oh, one more thing I need to glue. Grab my little mug. I'm just going to put a teeny bit of glue right here. Kind of smear it out a little bit. And this, okay, there's the smooth side. So that's going to be the top. I did not check that out when I made my original, and I kind of put the rough end side up, but it's not that big a deal. I'm going to use the putty side of my take your pick tool, pick it up though. And I kind of push that down because I barely put any glue on there. It's not oozing out. Oops. There we go. So there's my little cup. Now I can put the glue away, I think. I'll put it to the side. I might end up using it here again. Bring in the card base. We'll put these on real quick. Now this one, I'm just going to put down flat. So what I'm going to do, actually I did put glue on here because I wanted to make sure, see if I needed to move it around a little bit. So let's bring my mat back in here. And I'm just going to put some here on the lid. Right here. You only want to put glue where where the vellum isn't clear. If it's got something hiding the glue, actually, I'm just going to put it on that's what I did. I'm just going to put some here on the lid and some here on the back of the coffee. I could put some here on the handle too. I think I might. I'll just put a little bit here on the handle. Okay. And this one's going to go right about here. I kind of, the coffee right here, I want to hide the ribbon. I thought it looked kind of funny seeing well, it looks okay, but I'm going to cover the ribbon up just a little bit with that coffee. So I didn't want to see it through the vellum part there. That looks pretty straight. So now hold it down, put pressure down on it. That way the glue takes hold. Oh, thanks, Christy. I'm glad you're liking it. There we go. So now we've got our coffee mug there. Got to feel my original because I couldn't remember if I put dimensionals on this, and I did. So I'm going to grab the dimensionals. Oh, there they are. Getting a little low, but I think I have enough. I'm just going to put 2 up here and then 1 down here at the bottom. Definitely don't need the glue again, so I'm going to close this up. Take these off. And because it's over a little bit, well, I guess it doesn't matter. I was going to say, I'm going to cover up the pot just a little bit. Again, I said I didn't want the dimensionals, but I really don't want the dimensionals on the ribbon. So I'm going to lift it up just a little bit higher. So I was getting it on the ribbon a little bit. I kind of want the dimensionals to be attached to the cardstock. They stay on just a little bit better that way. Now with this guy, this part, the top part's going to be on the popped up mug. So I just need a little bitty one here on the side with a handle. So once again, I'm going to use up some of my border here. I'm going to put a flat side right up against the opening of the handle. Let me get that all closer so you can see it because that's a little mug. It's so cute. And I'll put a little adhesive. You know what I'm going to do it on here? I'd much rather get adhesive on this sheet than my glass mat. And then I'll put this right here. It's a little cup of espresso because I know espresso is usually a little mug. There we go. So almost done with this card. I just need to put the dots on. And this time I decided that pecan pie would look good too, but I'm going to use, any of those would look good. I'm going to use the petal pink ones there in the middle. I'm going to kind of highlight the greeting up here a little more. So I'm going to put one right here. Yeah, I got to take some of this putty off. Well, it came off anyway. Sometimes when you get too much putty out, or squeeze too much out, it doesn't work very well. Actually, I want that up a little higher. Get that thrown away. The one thing I've learned about this, barely twist it because it keeps coming out. Because this looks like not enough, but it's going to keep coming out. A lot of times I'll do it again and then it doesn't work. And this one's almost gone. I keep meaning to replace it. I think I'm going to switch. I think this one's working better. Nope. Okay, there. They're both not wanting to work on me tonight. Usually they work perfectly. Okay, so there we go. So there is that card. That's card number 2. And if you wanted to, you could take a blender pen and make that ink bleed a little bit just to fill it in some, but You could also color it in with blends too still. That is the second card. Now we're ready for card number 3. And the last one. So I know it's getting kind of late for you. Just saw what time it was. But we're having fun. I'm having fun stopping and talking with you guys. Oh, thanks, Denise and Myra and Becky. Glad you guys are liking it. Okay, now I'm going to grab the last pack of the night. This one's going to have more browns. I wanted to make a darker one. The other ones are a little lighter. This one's going to be a darker one for dark coffee. So I've got this regular 5.5 by 8.5 piece for the card base. You like the plaid side, Jan? I do too. I thought that looked, it kind of reminds me, let me grab that card. I thought it just made it look like it was on a table because it kind of looks like a tablecloth. So I thought I liked that. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and line up these corners. Oh, thanks, Crystal. I'm glad you like it. I just saw your comment. So I'm going to put the corners. There we go. I get one corner lined up and the other one moved on me. Okay, so there's my card base. I'm going to grab a piece. There, let's put the DSP pieces together. I've got the splatter piece, which I like a lot. This is 1.5 by 4. And this one is a 4 by 2. So I wanted to mat these. So this is a piece of early espresso that's 4 by 2.25. And this is just going to go right across the middle. Either side will work of this paper, I think. I wanted to add a little more color to it, so that's why I did this mug. Now the short edges are going to line up with the short edges of the early espresso piece. I made them both the same length. There we go. So we've got that one ready to go. And this one, which was the 1.5 by 4, is going to go on a piece of early espresso. This one is 1 3/4 by 4 1/4. I'm just going to put this right in the middle. Kind of hold it up before I push it down. There, that looks pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and attach this to this piece here. I want the one with the mugs on it first. Well, get that reeled up again. There we go. And this is going to be a little below center. I almost put it right at center, but I didn't really like it. So it's a little bit below center. There we go. About an inch probably above the bottom, I would say. And then I'm going to grab this one, put some adhesive on it. And it's going to be the middle up and down, but just a little border here. I wanted it more on the right side. I'm looking at these two ends about the same. And this can go directly on the card base. You know what? I'm not going to put it on the card base yet because we've got a little stamping to do on it yet. So I'm going to put this to the side, my card base to the side. Then this is going to be the inside. This is a 4 by 3/4 inch piece. It's the other side of the swirl paper that we used for the inside of that coffee pot on the last card. I know it's not the exact same paper as I used on the front, but it still has the same theme. It goes to some of those Calypso coral mugs that are on the front, DSP. All of those papers coordinate good, so that it doesn't have to be the exact same design from the front. Put this on the inside of the card. Looking at the comments, make sure I wasn't missing any. I don't think I have. But I'm sure I have. Usually when I go back to read them, I'm like, oh, I didn't see that one. It gets so frustrating. Okay, I'm going to put this right on the inside of the card because I don't want to lose it. So this time I'm not doing any stamping. I just want to have that strip of paper in there. Now I'll bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat. This is a piece of basic white. It is a 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. I'm going to stamp the big mug. I need to clean that again. I'm going to be stamping it in early espresso, and I want to get that Lost Lagoon off of there. In case you're wondering what I clean it with, that's called a Simply Chamois, and we do sell those too. I think that's on the same page in the annual catalog is this, which was 151, I do believe. Somebody looked that up for me earlier. Okay, I need to grab my, oh, there it is. I'm using early espresso a lot. But as you're noticing, normally when we use our Stampin' Blends, we stamp with our Tuxedo Black Memento. Any of our classic ink pads, you can color with or stamp and use blends, because these are water-based ink pads just like the Memento, and the alcohol markers do not make it bleed. Since these are water-based things like our water painter or our blender pens will make this ink bleed, but alcohol markers won't. And I didn't want the black because I'm using all these browns, so it just looked better with the early espresso. Okay, what else do I need? Oh, I still need, actually, I think I'm stamping everything in early espresso, so we'll keep that out. I'm going to grab this greeting. It says, "You're the best part of my day." And this one is going to be die cut out of a circle, but it fills in the circle pretty good. So I think that should be pretty good where it's at. And then last but not least, we've got a little spoon. I just had to use the spoon. Hadn't used him yet, so we're going to put him up here. We got a little bit of coloring in to do, but not too bad. I'm going to do Lost Lagoon for the spoon. Now I found one of them. Where'd the other one go? Boy, I hate it when I do this. Of course, this is the light one. I'd rather start with the dark. Probably covered it up with my... Well, I almost made it through a video without losing things. Those of you that watch my videos, you're probably laughing your head off because I'm always losing things. Oh, there it is. I had it on my other table. Okay, so I've got my dark back out. Usually it's my take your pick tool, but it can be anything that I lose. Okay, so once again, I'm going to do just like I wanted that to be, okay, it's going to be, I wanted that to be another color. You know what? Because it looks so much better with that, I'm going to grab one of my kits. If I can figure out where I put them. I'm not kidding. Okay, do I need to go to bed? I'm going to grab a piece of white because that really, I would stamp it over here, but it's already getting the Lost Lagoon, soaking it through. I'm trying to think if I can make this work. You know what? I bet I can. Hold on a minute. Let's do this. Grab my early espresso again. See if I can get it to where it's not going to interfere with that thing. You know what? I really think this is going to, oh, here, I'll just put it right there. You know, I think this is going to work. That's going to work. There's just a little bit showing right there. Nobody's going to see that. So I'm going to hurry up and stamp because I want to just put it through the die cutting machine once. So I'll stamp these again. Sometimes it's not bad when I mess up. There we go. I would have just kept doing it Lost Lagoon, but I really wanted to do my lemon lolly. So we're going to do, what I wanted to do Lost Lagoon, though, was the spoon. So let me do that. I got ahead of myself. I was thinking I was making that other card. So this little bottom part of the spoon, I'm going to do the dark Lost Lagoon. And then the inside of the spoon, I'm going to do the dark. I think we can go over just a little bit, one more layer of it. Especially the inside of the spoon. And there's a few little lines here on the end. Now color the rest of it. Crystal, you've become my assistant. Thank you so much. She's just gave out the host code if anybody's interested. Those of you watching on Facebook, that is. Oh, I forgot to have the ticker come back on. I'm glad I saw this. She answered that. Let me put that back on. There we go. That will show you the host code too. But also you can click on the link down in the video description. If you're watching on YouTube, just click on the Card Class at Home link and that'll give you all the information, including the host code and a link to my online store. And then if you're watching on Facebook, click that Learn More button at the top of the page of my business page and click on the current host code offer link. And that'll give you all the information too. Okay, so now I want to do my lemon lolly. Bound and determined to make this lemon lolly. So I'm doing the dark lemon lolly here. This is such a pretty yellow. I love it. I didn't use any Lemon Lolly cardstock because sadly, this is not available right now, and they still don't know when they're going to get it. They're having trouble with their suppliers. We've got a few colors of cardstock that they're waiting on shipments from, and they have still not gotten a date on this color. So hopefully they will soon. Hopefully their suppliers will be able to get going. I'm sure they're just real far behind on making it. So hopefully we'll get some more real soon. Oh, I forgot to do the inside, didn't I? Here, I know this needs to be dark because that's kind of like the inside. I'm going to grab that little coffee stamp again. I just thought I was done stamping. Grab my pecan pie. Put this right here in the middle again. It looks a little weird when it doesn't have the coffee there. So now I know where I want to put the dark for the inside. So I'm going to kind of put it along here too. So that is all with the dark Lemon Lolly. Now I'm going to use my light Lemon Lolly. I even like the name of this yellow. It's such a happy yellow. I like Daffodil Delight too, but this one is it's a little lighter. Just really sunny looking. Like it a lot. Okay, so get this all in. I am seeing a little bit of that Lost Lagoon right there, but it's not that bad. I'm not going to worry about it. Once again, I'm going to go over the dark a little bit. Kind of get a little bit of that shading I had with the Lost Lagoon. I just keep adding on here until it looks good to me. And there's not a big shade difference I notice between these two shades. I do want a little bit more. That's under part of the handle, though, of the dark. Okay, now I am ready. Like I said, you can see a little bit of the Lost Lagoon from the other side, but not much. I'm happy with it. Okay, grab this for the last time. I need to grab, here's the mug. Oops, get back here. Put this right here. But sometimes it's good for me to mess up because then I can come up with a way to fix it. And if it ever happens to you, you know the fix. Grab my spoon. Put that there. Oh, I do have one more thing to stamp. I just remembered, but oh, that's right. I needed to have these die cut first. Okay, I'm going to need to get some more tape here. Good thing I have it over here. Then, when you look at this mug right here, it's got this inner one. This one, you can die cut those little swirl circle. Let me find that one stamp. Like this one did the hearts. This will die cut that. But it's a nice circle to die cut this greeting out too. I'm going to put that right there. Oh, I forgot to get some tape. This is what the Post-it tape looks like, by the way, in case you were wondering. Like I said, I got mine on Amazon. This is the 1-inch width. I like this one the best, but there are a bunch of different widths. But this one has lasted me. I've had it a few years because you can use tape over and over and over again. It's just when it starts to fall apart, that's when you know you need to get another piece out. I can tell some of these, this one's starting to look a little rough. It probably won't last much longer. I've definitely got my money's worth out of that tape because I'm not kidding. I've had it at least 2 years, if not longer than that. I'm going to run this through. Now this card went a little quicker than I thought. I think I got a little faster at the coloring. Don't have to worry about that spoon. It's going to be covered up. So there is my greeting. Perfect circle for that. Here's my cute little mug. Yep, I like it in the Lemon Lolly. I like it in the Lost Lagoon too, but yeah, it just would have made the card is already dark with all the browns I'm using, so I definitely wanted to have that yellow mug. And then here's the spoon. I like the way if you put the dark shade inside there, it really makes it look a little more 3D. Okay. or gives it some dimension. Doesn't really look 3D, but it gives you some, you know what I mean. Okay. Now, put this over here. And now I'm going to lay this down. Just going to lay things down for right now. Before I start attaching, I have an idea where I want them. I'm going to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat again because I am going to do a little stamping. Bring this over here. See, that Lost Lagoon mug just would have been way too dark on this. I really wanted to brighten it up with that yellow one. And then the spoon is going to go on something like this. Okay. I think I like that. My main thing I'm wanting to get in the right place right now is the mug. And that looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and move these over. There is a little stamp. Well, I keep seeing the coffee. Oh, there it is. This one is a little curved thing that makes it look like there's steam coming out of the coffee. And when you look at it, one is it's just got one little, swirl to it. Up here, you're going to see it kind of jagged looking, like what steam would look like it's going every which way. So I'm going to grab my pecan pie ink. Make sure the one that's got a couple little lines on the top there. I'm going to do a center one first. So I'm going to put it back right here, move my cup out of the way. Okay. You know what? I might just be doing, well, actually, I'm going to move the cup over a little bit more because I liked it better having 3 little things, swirls on it. There we go. So we've got little steam that's going to come out of my mug. You know what? I am going to put one right there. Oh, that looks fine. Good. That made it a little partial. It just wasn't quite looking right. So there, now I've got steam coming out. I'm going to put this one on with regular seal. So I'm all done stamping, so I can get rid of that. You know what? I'm going to put this on the card base. I kind of like adding little stuff to my card after the big piece is on the card base. Got it covered, but I could still see it. Make sure that fold is on the left. Put that right here. Aren't those browns pretty? The early espresso and pecan pie look really good together. Oh, thanks, Jamie. I'm glad you're liking the layout. Okay, so grab this. Well, the back looks very interesting, doesn't it? I'm going to kind of angle this where the steam's at. Okay. I want to pop this up with dimensionals. Where did I put them? I might have to grab, oh, there it is. And I think I'll put one near the top and one near the bottom. I forgot my ribbon again. This is what I forgot when I originally did the card. This is a 3-inch piece of the Natural Polka Dot Trim. I'm going to take Terran tape. I can pop this little end up with no problem. So this is going to work. I'm glad I remembered though before I put this on. And I'm just going to put this right across the back of the trim from end to end. And when I get to the end, then I can tear it with my thumbnail. I'm going to push it down. Oops, I just dropped it. Good thing I'm done with the Terran tape. It's on the floor now. I'm going to push that down really good. See if I can get some of that paper backing to come off. It's a little trickier when it's on the ribbon. I think I got it started. Sometimes when it's on the ribbon, it's actually easier with your fingers. Yep, it sure was. This is easier when it's on paper for sure, because I usually have trouble getting it with my fingernail. But this one, I could bend the ribbon back a little bit, and that helped it to come off. So that's actually better to do than the Take Your Pick tool. Now I'm going to kind of tuck this underneath, lift this up just a little bit. There we go. I'm not putting this, I'm keeping this ribbon up above the paper because I don't want it to stick, because that Terran tape, once it's down, it's down. And I'm kind of lining the right end with the edge of the splatter paper. There we go. It just gives it like a little accent. I almost didn't do it, but even just having that little bit makes a difference. And now this is going to go over the ribbon just a little bit. So that's why this dimensional I probably should have put on a little bit higher. Let's see if I can get that to move. Sometimes when I haven't put it down real good, I didn't put it down very hard. So now I'm going to push them down. Take those off. I'm going to go over the ribbon a little bit and a little bit of the mug. That looks pretty good. Push that down. Then with my spoon, the only thing I need to have a dimensional, because this part of it is going to be on this part that's popped up, I need a little one here on the end. So once again, I'm going to grab those. I'm using a lot of these little half ones. I'm going to cut one of these off. Now with this one, there is a little bit of a hump right here on the end of the handle. That is where I want that little top part, the little point to be. So you kind of angle it a little bit because I don't want to see it. It just fits. And if you're real nervous about it, you could clip off that little point. I got just right. I can't see it. It's real close, though. It's a tight fit. But I definitely needed that end to, you know what? I'm going to put a little glue on that instead. Oh, when it's that little, I don't want to have adhesive coming out the edges. I think it's going to be a little bit. I could use a glue dot too, for that matter. I think I'm just going to put a little bit of glue right there. Take the paper backing off of that one. Bring this in, and it's just going to angle. Want to circle just a little bit. And this, I want the handle to be up against the mug a little bit. Oops, slide this down. It's another good reason to have glue. I was able to slide it down a little bit because I was covering up my of. There we go. So there is that, but we still need to put some dots on there. So we've used the white ones, the petal pink ones. Now we need to use the pecan pie. Okay. Oh, Crystal, thanks. Yeah, there is a link to my blog. It's www.createwithchristy.com or just put createwithchristy.com, all one word, and that'll get you there. Okay, so I'm going to grab the pecan pie. Oh, come on. I have never had this much trouble. Where did I put these? Oh, yeah. Put one right here. And I'm going to put one. Boy, this one is just wanting to be a pain tonight. Actually, it is at the very end. As soon as this video is over, I'm going to get a new one out because I think it is so old. Because I've never replaced it before, and I think it's got to be a few years old. Because this is one of my first take your pick tools, so I've had this a long time because we've had these for quite a while. And then I need to put, where did I put the last one? I guess I could just pick a spot. Sometimes I like to do it just like I did it, but I guess I don't have to. You know, I think I like it down here. I always do like a triangle. Oh, yeah, I do like that. So I've got them right there. So you could definitely use one of the other colors to brighten it up a little bit, but I kind of like the subtle look of keeping the same color going. Okay. So let me get all the cards out. Another card class at home is in the record books. There we go. I put in the order that I did them in the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm going to sit down so I can see your comments a little better. Let's see here. Hope you guys liked that. Okay. Yeah, and I do check questions, yeah, within 24 hours. That's right, Crystal. That's why I try my best to do that anyway. Every once in a while, it might be a little later, but usually I try to get it done within the first 24 hours because I don't want you guys to have to wait forever. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's class. Don't forget, if you place, I wish I knew where I threw the kits. I was going to show you those one more time. I usually have them. Oh, there they are. Completely covered. Big surprise. If you place a $40 order using that host code, it's going to show up here in just a minute. As I'm looking at the screen, I can tell it's not showing up just yet. Okay, here it comes. Use that host code if you're and place a $40 order before shipping and tax, and you will get the card kits for these free. I'll mail these out. I think it's like between the 18th and 20th. I think that's what it is when I mail these out. So you get the card kits for 2 each. Oh, thanks, Myra. I'm glad you liked them. Thanks, Crystal. And then If you bump it up to a $50 order, then I'll add the embellishments. So as you can see, you do get the pieces of ribbon you need, but the embellishments, you don't get those until you bump it up to a $50 order before shipping and tax. And these are brand new, and I've got enough coming. Like I said, I think they come this weekend. I have ordered them. So they'll be here in plenty of time for me to put them in the card kits. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, just let me know. Oh yeah, I do want to let you know too, do not use the host code if your order is $150 or more before shipping and tax. You'll still get my card kits and the embellishments, but you'll also get Stampin' boards from Stampin' Up. But if your order is under $150 before shipping and tax, you have to use that host code to get my free cards. So make sure you get that added. Okay, and if you click on the link down below in the video description on YouTube that says Card Class at Home, Facebook, it's Learn More. That's one thing when I do both, I have to tell you all this. It's a lot of stuff to tell you. But on Facebook, just click that Learn More button at the top and click the current host code offer. That will give you all the information. There's also a link to my online store, and that link will add the host code for you. I just want to make sure you know that if you use that link, then you don't have to worry about it. But if you do get to the 150 or more, make sure you go back to the shopping cart and click that little trash can that's next to the host code, and that'll delete it for you. That way you'll get the Stampin' Awards, because I don't want you to miss out on that. Okay. Now, we have a door prize, don't we? Just switch to me real quick. So for those of you that just came on, the way this works, here, I'll lift it up. It's probably going to glare big time. But these are cork rounds. Cork, C-O-R-K. Sometimes it's hard to tell with this microphone what I'm saying. These are really made out of cork. They are so good on masculine cards, nature cards. There's just a lot of things you can do with these. But you'll get get in the drawing for this. If you want to be in the drawing, you have to live in the United States, and you have to comment #door prize. So let me pop this up real quick. It'll show you exactly how to type it. You can see it right down the bottom. It's #door prize. Type it in just like that, because my the program that I use is what chooses the winner here during the live. So it has to be typed in just right so that we can get it. So everybody listening in the United States that wants to be in the drawing, make sure you do that #door prize. So I'll wait here in just a minute. I'll get some of your comments that are popping up. Let's see here. Oh, Becky, good. I'm glad you love them. Love, love, love. This is Becky McFallis. I can't tell. I'm not kidding. I've said this a couple times. The last couple weeks, I've noticed these are getting so scratched up, and I think I need to get new glasses. Let's see. Pat says she doesn't do coffee, but it was fun watching. Thanks. I'm glad you had fun. Oh, thanks, Karen Ilsley. I'm not kidding. The glare in here is crazy. You like all three of them. Thank you so much. And Becky McFalls. Oh, got the #door prize. Good. So I'm going to wait just a minute or two, because there's always a delay. There's about between 30-second and minute delay with lives. So I want to make sure. And some people, if you pause the live on YouTube, I don't know if you can pause the live on Facebook, but I know you can on YouTube, and you might be a little behind. But I want to make sure, I want everybody to get in on this door prize. So this is for everybody that's watching live. And then I will show you the one for those are for everybody that's live and the replay. So I always want to make sure they get in on it too. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and start. Oh, I need to type that in. One of these days, I'm going to remember, because last time I forgot to type it in too. So hold on just a second. It's not here. You know what? We are going to switch to this screen so you can look at the cards with the door prize, while I'm getting this set up, because I totally forgot to type this in. It'll just take a second. Let's see here. Oh, cool. It remembered what I like to put in it. I just had to click on it. That made it quicker. That's nice to know. So if I ever forget. So I'm going to go back to me again. I've got #door prize. Make sure it's definitely typed in right. And it is. I'm going to start. Let's see who's going to win. Grab my Post-it notes here. Becky Border McFalls, and you just put your name down. That's funny. Congratulations, Becky. Now, I know you have not won before. So let's see, you are watching on Facebook. So if you just message me here on my Facebook page and your mailing address, and I will get those cork rounds mailed out to you. Okay, congratulations, Becky. That's funny, because I know you just put #door prize on. Okay, now I can hide that again. There we go. I think that's fun. I like doing that. I like that I've got the ability to do that drawing here at the end of the video. Oh, thanks, Denise. I'm glad you liked them. So Becky McFalls, I hope you were watching so you can get your mailing address to me. Now, those of you that are watching the replay and those of you that have watched live, so everybody that's put hashtag door prize here during the live is also in this drawing. But if you're watching the replay and you live in the United States, make sure you put in hashtag door prize also. That way I know you want to be in on the drawing too. And oh, good, Becky, you're still on. Good. Congratulations. Okay, so I'm going to switch. So everybody watching the replay will get put in the drawing to get these. These are called opaque faceted gems. These are part of celebration. And like I said, I'm going to bring the cards up. Don't those look good with these cards too? I did not plan that. I should lie and tell you I did, but I didn't. So you've got some other embellishments if you win that'll go with these cards. So I hope you guys enjoyed it today. I had so much fun with you guys. And I will see you again next week. I honestly can't remember what I'm doing next week, but I don't like to tell you that. I always like to surprise you. So I hope you guys have a great week. Spring's just around the corner. It's been spring off and on here. This definitely been a mild winter here in Indiana. We've had a few very, very, very cold days and weeks, but not as many as usual. So it's been kind of funny. Got a lot of rain. Having thunderstorms in March, I'm not used to that. But we had a couple doozies here a couple days ago. But stay safe, those of you in the southern part of the country. I know that like around the Gulf Coast or so, I've heard that you're going to have some bad storms. Take care of yourselves. And I will see you again next week. And make sure to check back on my YouTube throughout the week because I'm going to have some videos to be sharing with you, hopefully, throughout the week and my shorts. I am getting into the YouTube shorts. So fast videos. And it'll probably be these cards. Possibly I've got a couple other shorts too to share with you. So those are just fun little videos to watch if you just want to see something real quick. Okay. Oh, good, Becky. I'm glad you're excited that you won. I'm glad you won too. I always like it when somebody new gets to win something. Oh, you're welcome, Rita. I'm glad you enjoyed them. Okay. See you guys all next week. Bye.